Hi, I'm Omar.
And I'm Mia.
And this is Geek versus Geek, where we argue about things that don't exist.
We got this week's topic of debate from our Facebook page from Chris of the Geek Path, who recommended the classical nerd debate, Marvel versus DC.
I was on Team DC with my brother Amir.
And I was on Team Marvel with our friend Evan. Now, keep in mind that there are characters and storylines and comics on both companies that we love, so it's not meant to be malicious. It's just meant to be in good fun.
But that being said, we did get a little heated and we ran a tiny bit long. So we actually split this video up into 2 parts. If you get to the end of this video and you said you don't want to watch anymore, that's totally fine.
But the second video is the best one, so you should totally watch it.
Now, because we wanted to be involved in the debate, we couldn't host it. So we turned it over to our friend, HostBot2000. Take it away, HostBot2000.
Hello, I am HostBot2000, and it's time for Geek versus Geek. It is time for opening statements. Team Marvel, your opening statement.
Marvel has consistently been a source of fun and entertainment and enjoyment from our childhoods until now.
If you never wore a pair of Spider-Man underwear on the outside of your tights as a little kid, then you are either a liar or you were born on another planet.
Team DC, your opening statement.
DC Comics is the better of the two because not only did it come first, premiering in 1934 while Marvel premiered in 1939, but it has been a long-lasting American tradition of comics and comic storytelling, introducing iconic characters that are important to our culture.
Not only were they human, but they also supported our troops.
We are off to a great start. Now time for arguments. Each argument will be followed by a rebuttal. Team Marvel, your first argument.
First of all, Marvel is just way more fun than DC. It's just always full of like joy and swashbuckling adventure and excitement. I mean, Batman and Superman, while symbolic and great characters, are just more grim and dark.
Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, they're never taking themselves too seriously. It's very swashbuckling, it's very fun. There's always something happening after one thing happens. It
you
never
just
stops.
like want to buy merchandise.
Yeah, you want to spend your allowance on I don't know,
X-Men claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel's really fun, wonderful and fun. Onslaught, the story where Professor X went crazy and tried to kill all the X-Men, real fun. Secret Invasion, when Richard Reed thought that his entire family was dead, super fun, right? Really fun stuff, guys. Oh yeah, Ant-Man domestically abusing the Wasp? Oh great, wonderful, let's buy that merchandise, sure.
But I mean, you know, we have fun people too. We got Plastic Man, we got Oliver Queen,
Guy Gardner. Our Jokers, they're a lot more fun than your Jokers.
DC has symbols of characters, whereas Marvel has characters. I mean, think about it. We've got Superman. Is there any more obvious representation of just simply good versus evil? Whereas you look at Marvel characters like Peter Parker, he's interesting right from the start. You've got flaws in his character, he's sort of nerdy, he's awkward, he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like us.
They're real people, whereas DC could have like some fun characters. They don't feel like real people because Marvel masters nerd psychology.
What?
Marvel has real characters? Yeah, because kids grow up with adamantium claws in their hands. Our characters are people who rise to the occasion, not people who are born because of some genetic mutation, some misunderstanding of science. Yeah, real nerdy. Gamma rays, don't make me strong. That's some bull.
Gotham City cast into crime. Horrible. Just like Oakland.
Crime is a real thing. Gotham is Oakland.
Superman? His planet got destroyed.
Done. He was shot out of Israel. Are you seriously going to call the Jews not real people?
To realize the greatness of Marvel, you really only need to know 4 words. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. Stan Lee has basically created the modern comic as we know it. Jack Kirby, artist extraordinaire, basically created the modern language of the superhero comic book.
We got 4 words for you, Marvel fans. tragic lawsuit.
That's right. Stan Lee stole everything from Jack Kirby's foundation, and they have been struggling to get it back. In fact, they might have recently failed to get it back, and he is just clawing to that money. He stole from a friend. There's one thing I can learn from that relationship. It's who not to trust. Marvel.
What a show. Now for Team DC's arguments. Team DC, your first argument.
We have the best comics. We have Long Halloween, we have Watchmen, we have V for Vendetta, Sandman, we have Sandman.
Are you really going to say that there's a comic in the Marvel catalog that's as good as Sandman?
DC is more about individual runs. Oh yeah, Batman Detective Comics are good, like Long Halloween was good, but Marvel as a whole and as a brand and as an identity is way stronger of a candidate. When you hear Marvel, you feel the same way you do about like Nintendo.
We actually have the most concise universe there is. 52, Infinite Crisis. If you don't have such a concise universe, how can you pull off such grandiose stories, including every villain and every hero?
You can team up any group of characters you want and it'll be a successful run. And if you're going to argue that Marvel has that in Avengers, I'm going to quote Joss Whedon, because he said these are characters that don't belong in the same movie. He said it himself. You be the detective.
We're so concise, we're the most concise ever, because we can go to 1 billion universes and have 1 billion runs. Like, I'm not sure what your point was there.
If there isn't something wrong with the stories in the first place, why do you have to have 1 million universes to put them all into? Like, we should come up with some more stories, I guess, to make another Earth B or something.
New 52s? Like, do you need to remake the 52s? Why do you, what is that? What is that? Secondly, Marvel isn't about, like, team-ups. That's, like, how Marvel makes all of their comics.
That's all they do.
And thirdly, to address the Joss Whedon quote, yeah, they have conflict. That's what conflict is. If everything was just hunky-dory, oh, let's put all the characters together and they all get along, how is that interesting? We want the tension. That's why it's cool.
Well, our last point is, where can you find in Marvel the level and depth of villains that you have in DC?
You just pull someone off the street, they can name over 10 Batman villains alone. What about Marvel villains? What famous Marvel villains are there?
I don't know, is it Magneto?
Yeah, he's part of the X-Men now, genius.
I was gonna say Magneto as one of the villains.
I know! Damn it.
The example of X-Men that you use is one of Marvel's strongest properties because it has character switching like that, it's complex, no clear-cut bad guys. It was about civil rights. Who's the real villain here? Alright, that was part 1. If you are still ready to watch the conclusion of Geek vs. Geek, go ahead and click the link below. That will take you to part 2.